I've been employed there of probably about a week. This week will be my second week.
Where were you employed before Primoris?
I worked at McDonald's.
If we include the per diem and base it on the 50 hours guaranteed, I'm coming out with an initial child support amount of $1,294 per month.
I worked at McDonald's.
They're both in agreement that Mr. Taiwan Crowley is the father of Addison, Joe Grace Crowley, and Adeline Amore Crowley, the children on the case as established by the acknowledgements of paternity for both of the children, that both agree that they be named joint managing conservators of the children, with Ms. Bell having the right to designate the children's primary residence, and Mr. Crowley having the right to standard possession order, including the expanded provisions for parties within 50 miles of each other. It's my understanding they also both agree that there not be any retroactive support ordered in this matter, and both agree that they don't know of any private health or dental insurance available for the children at a reasonable cost at this time. So they're in agreement for Ms. Bell to be responsible for applying for a government health plan for the children, and for Mr. Crowley to pay a monthly medical support of $150 per month beginning May 1st, 2023. Your Honor, that's my understanding of the agreement today, and that we would need the court's determination as to current child support. Your Honor, I asked to call Ms. Ariel Bell.
Okay, and just before we get started, that medical support for government health insurance, you said 150?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna just so for your calculation purposes, I'm gonna limit that to 75.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Miss Bell, will you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this matter today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can lower your hand. You may proceed, Ms. Coon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bell, did you hear and understand the agreed terms that I announced?
Yes.
Okay, and other than the medical part, does what I announced accurately reflect your agreement today and what you believe is in the children's best interest?
Yes.
And would you be in agreement with Mr. Crowley being ordered to pay monthly medical support of $75 per month rather than the $150 per month that we discussed?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything, let's see, what are the full names of your children?
Addison, Joe Grace Crowley, and Adeline Amore Crowley.
Okay. And what is Addison's date of birth?
8/25/19.
What is Adeline's date of birth?
9/24/21.
Okay. And who is Addison's father?
Taiwan.
And you signed an acknowledgement of paternity with Mr. Crowley for Addison, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I ask that the acknowledgement of paternity for Addison be placed in evidence as State's Exhibit 1.
Okay, Miss Bell, do you have any objection to that acknowledgement of paternity coming into evidence?
No.
Mr. Crowley, do you have any objection to the acknowledgement of paternity coming into evidence?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And who is Adeline Crowley's father?
Taiwan.
Taiwan Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Mr. Crowley both signed an acknowledgement of paternity for Adeline as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I ask that the acknowledgement of paternity for Adeline be placed in evidence as State's Exhibit 2.
Any objection, Miss Bell?
No.
Mr. Crowley?
No, ma'am.
Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Bell, is there anything that you believe the court needs to know from you as it pertains to current the current child support issue?
No.
I pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Crowley, do you have any, based on what Ms. Bell testified to, you have any questions of Ms. Bell right now?
No, ma'am, none at all.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kuntz,
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Taiwan Crowley.
please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide in this matter today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Ms. Kuntz?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Crowley, did you hear and understand the agreed terms that I announced to the court?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And except for the part about monthly medical support payment, does what I announced accurately represent your agreement today and what you believe is in your children's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be in agreement with paying monthly medical support of $75 per month beginning May 1st, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you have any other minor children besides the children on this case?
Yes, ma'am. I have a 14-year-old son.
Okay, and are you court ordered to support that child?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Have you recently started new employment?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I work for a solar company called Promores, a PSC, Renewable Energy.
Okay, and how do they pay you? Is it based on an hourly rate?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your current hourly rate?
$20 an hour,
Okay.
plus 100 per diem.
Okay, and how many days do you work per week?
6 days, depending on the weather.
Okay, how many hours do you work per day?
Either between 10, 11, 12 hours a day.
Okay, how many hours do you work per day on average, or hours per week, whichever is easier for you to tell me?
I mean, like I say, it really depends on the weather, but but an average per week we guarantee 50 hours due to the fact of the climate or whatever. But we guarantee 50 hours. Either we work 2 days out the week or 4 days out the week. We're still mandatory 50 hours.
Okay, and you get time and a half for overtime,
Yes, ma'am.
and you do work every week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and normally work 6 days a week, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and shifts between 10 and 12 hours a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say you're averaging out around 11 hours a day?
Yeah, about 11.
And what is your per diem for? Does your job require you to stay overnight anywhere?
Yeah, like it is. Yeah, it depends. I mean, because we work in Plainview, Texas, and I'm from Vernon, Texas, and it's about like a 2.5 hour drive. So like, say for instance, we work from 7:30 to 7 p.m. It's going to be it just helps us to find a room and place to stay if you're too tired to drive back home.
Okay. And is there anything else that you believe the court should know from you regarding the issue of current child support?
I'm an active parent in my kid's life. Me and their mom, we just recently separated of last year. We've been together since our first daughter been born. I attend school functions. My 3-year-old gets off Monday through Friday here at my apartment. If I'm not here, my mom's picks him up. I'm all around dad. I'll be there for my kids every day.
I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Bell, do you have any questions of Mr. Crowley?
No.
How long have you worked at Primoris, Mr. Crowley?
I've been employed there of probably about a week now. This week will be my second week.
And where were you employed before Primoris?
I worked at McDonald's.
So have you had a week that you've received overtime yet?
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But you're guaranteed right now 50 hours per week.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that per diem, do you get that 6 days a week?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And so when you went to training for Primoris, did you get paid the 50 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Any other questions, Ms. Kuntz?
No, Your Honor, I passed the witness. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
Okay. Mr. Crowley, do they not have health insurance available at Primoris for your children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But it's it'll be activated within 30 days of me being on the job.
Do you know how much it would cost to put them on your health insurance?
No, ma'am.
But you
No.
have it. You're going to have it available.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes.
Okay. But you haven't talked to anyone from HR about how much it might cost.
I know, ma'am. They say we'll have a meeting on it within my 30 days of being active on the job, and they'll go to the steps on who I can add on there and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kuntz, you rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Kuntz is rested. That means she has no further evidence or testimony. Mr. Crowley, do you also rest, or do you have anything else you would like me to know?
Yes, ma'am. Like, I'm just like, like far as child support situation, ma'am, like, like I say, I'm, like I help provide, like, for everything, clothes, diapers, everything like that. I help the mother with everything. Like, I mean, I've never just been an absent parent. I always been there, since birth, I've been there for my kids. Like I always been there, ma'am.
Okay. But y'all weren't able to reach any agreements about the amount that you pay her direct?
Oh, no, no, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Bell, do you have any other testimony or evidence you would like me to consider?
He helps with his kids. When I ask him for anything, he helps without it being a problem.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kuntz, close?
Your Honor, I would ask that the parties agreement be approved, and the court's determination as to the current child support for the children the subject of the suit. I am doing a calculation now based on the testimony. If we include the per diem and base it on the 50 hours guaranteed, I'm coming out with an initial child support amount of $1,294 per month, with a step down to $1,150. And let's see, if we take out the per diem, then let's see.
I'm going to deem that per diem is income. So that's part of your income. Everyone has to pay for a place to stay. So
Okay.
and eat.
Yes, Your Honor. That those are the calculations I come up with based on the testimony, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Ms. Bell, any other requests other than those made by the Attorney General's office?
No.
And Mr. Crowley, any other requests other than those announced by the Attorney General's office?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm saying like, what she calculated, that's not something that I'm able to pay monthly, am I? Or it's just a calculation of what I'm making.
That calculation is based on what you testified to as to what your income was going to be at the bare minimum of 50 hours a week. And I know you've only been there for a week, but they will take that out however you get paid. If you get paid weekly, which you probably do, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Then they will take a portion of that every week. So it adds up. It might be a little bit less every month or a little bit more, but it'll be consistent every week that they will take that out of your paycheck.
So I'm saying, so what would be withdrawn from my paycheck?
Hold on just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
So every week it will be, about $316. Is that kind of what you're getting, Ms. Kuntz, as well?
Yeah, but I'm saying, why do I gotta pay child support? Like she don't want child support. Like,
okay. Well, the reason I'm going to order child support is because that's what's in the best interest of the child. Ms. Bell indicated that every time she asks for something, you provide it. This way she doesn't have to ask for anything. It shouldn't cause any arguments in the future. It's just going to be automatic.
It's never was an argument. It's never
Okay.
a conflict on anything about me providing for my children.
Okay.
Ma'am, like I provide for my children. And then I don't think I should be subject to pay $300 a week for my children when I'm an active parent of my kid's life. I see them every day. Like I have my 3-year-old as we speak. Like I don't think, know what I'm saying? Think I'm subject to pay $300 a week.
Okay. All right. Ms. Bell, anything else?
I don't think he should have to pay.
So neither one of you think that because he pays you direct, Ms. Bell?
Or he doesn't pay me direct, he'll just go buy the stuff.
Okay.
Himself.
Ms. Kuntz, did you go over that part, or is there a reason the state's requesting support be set?
Yeah, I don't.
Your Honor, just I wasn't able to get any details on dollar amounts of specific things that Mr. Crowley is regularly providing, and it's the state's position that supporting all 40 cases should go through the state disbursement unit.
Mm-hmm. And Ms. Bell, are you saying that Mr. Crowley pays you in excess of $1,200 per month directly?
If not paying, he'll just buy the stuff himself.
Okay.
Ma'am, excuse me, Judge. Ma'am,
Wait a minute. I'm trying to get that you're paying her directly, right? You're involved in your child's life. I heard that from you, and you're paying her money, or you're going and picking up things that the children need as they need it.
For my children. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I provide for my children without a hesitation. She don't gotta tell me anything about my kids. I take care of my kids, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to approve the agreements that you made as far as joint managing conservatorship, Ms. Bell being primary, ordering a standard possession order, although y'all can agree to whatever you want to. It doesn't have to, you don't even have to look at that possession order if you don't want to. If you're in agreement, y'all are working together to be co-parenting and being there for your children, you can exercise whatever possession and access you want to. I will not order any retroactive child support. That was also part of your agreement. I am going to order that Mr. Crowley maintain health insurance for the children through his employer. Once you get the order, you'll need to provide that to your employer so that they can include the children on your employment. So I'm not approving that part of the agreement that Ms. Bell is going to maintain government health insurance. Although Ms. Bell, you can maintain government health insurance. That's between you and them. But Mr. Crowley will be ordered to maintain health insurance through his employer.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on the testimony and the indications from Ms. Bell and Mr. Crowley, I will not order current child support at this time because Mr. Crowley is providing for the children directly. Now, if that should ever change, that could be a reason that we come back and have to modify that. If you are not providing for the children directly, if somebody moves and you're not exercising possession as much as you have been, then that might be something that we would need to look at your income later on and determine if a modification is needed. You will be ordered to pay court costs, Mr. Crowley. That will be due 1 year, and that's between you and Wilbarger County to set up an agreement on that. All right. Does that address all the issues that we had here today?
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for co-parenting, and good luck with your children in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
That concludes today's hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.